G'day guys, so today we are talking about the seated chest press. Fantastic exercise to obviously develop your chest. It's a really good accessory. I wouldn't suggest doing this as a primary functional mover. By all means, make sure you do your free weighted stuff first, because you will have to rely a lot more on your, well, I mean, there's no reason why you can't use it as a pre-fatigue, but while fresh, I would rather do my big heavy movements that I have to stabilize and work on those minor technical points. This one you can't really stuff up, because obviously you're in the same line of motion. There are a few things that we need to be aware of though. Just the positioning of this particular machine, potentially one that you have is a little different, and I'll show you the pitfalls to look out for. How do we set up for this machine? Well, with our acronym, we need to create stability, we want to create tension, we want to create execution, and then we want to create, and then we want to track our performance. So that there, obviously our acronym is STEP. So the first 2 points that I want to make sure that we drum home is that we want to use this bench in this stability as well as possible. So we're going to drive our hips back and into the bench, along with create a flat back. Now, how do we create a flat back? Our scapula sits like this, and our lats insert at the base of that scapula. We want to pull that scapula back and down, create a flat back. From there, we're going to press. You can see that when I do create a flat back, how much more my chest pops out. If I sit like this and round right off, we're going to load up this front delt, and over a period of time could lead to shoulder injuries, or just an overdevelopment through here, and makes it look like we don't really have any chest muscle. So we want to sit back, pronounce our chest, promote our chest, and press through there, and you'll get a big stimulus through the midline of our chest. You really should be feeling it through the major muscle rather than up and in this joint. If we're feeling it up here, there's a fair chance that we're not pulling back and down enough, that we need, and yeah, we need to keep that in check. Okay, so what we know about this particular machine as well is that you can see that the handles flick up, which is going to flare my elbows. Now, if I'm coming in and my shoulder blades are backing down, I'm flaring my elbows, this really isn't going to be magical for our shoulder joint, because our shoulder joint sits on a bit of a 45, so it doesn't tend to like to go up and flare right out, right? And you'll feel a bit of pain and open to exposure through here. So maybe potentially a little tip with your dumbbell press too is, instead of being out so wide and jamming up these traps, we want to just drop those elbows slightly and come in at a 45 and press. So whenever I do this particular exercise, I'm looking to grab in here, because it does mimic the 45-degree handle, and it is really, really nice on the shoulders, and then you dive straight back into your chest. So again, jump into the midline. I'm going to create a bull grip. A bull grip is different to your normal grip, because it allows it starts to take your wrist joint out of the game. Now, if you think about it, if I have a big heavy load and it's forcing down on this wrist, potentially I don't have that flexibility, and it could load this wrist up and cause a bit of pain. If I slightly change my wrist position, you're going to firstly get a great deal more activation through your chest, but also you're going to align your wrist in a much more a pleasant way and a much more secure way in order to move more load. So instead of being back and bent, you're going to be slightly up and as if you're punching the air. And I don't know if you've ever heard that cue when you do a bench press or a dumbbell press, to punch the air rather than have your elbow or your wrist bent right back. So again, 45, the way you create a bull grip is that normally we would just grab it and tilt back. We are looking to grab a hold and tilt our hand, so you can see that it's running from the base of where my bone meets my hand and in through my forefinger and thumb, like so. So instead of being like this, we're going to tilt my hand so it runs along that line there. In. Oh, that's not at all where we want it. We want it on the 45. Okay, so in, shoulder blades are going to be pinned, and I'm going to jam my backside in. So now I'm locked in. They're my 2 points. Okay, so shoulder blades back and down. Hopefully, we could potentially drop this chair a little bit further. There we go. Okay, so shoulder blades back and down. Pin, hips into the back of the bench, shoulder blades pinned back and down and into the bench. They're my 2 points. My hands in a bull grip, grab a hold nice and tight, and from here, we're gonna let it go and press and squeeze. Okay, a down, press and squeeze, and it should be as fluent as that. Now, where we can get ourselves into some strife is if we drop our stomach into the bench, we start to round off. You can see my shoulders already want to come into the game, and we start pressing like this on our last couple, those shoulders will start loading right up. We want to make sure with our acronym, we've created our stability, we've got the tension through our chest, that our execution from rep 1 all the way to rep 10 or 12 or 20 or 100, whatever it is you're doing, is exactly the same. So if you find yourself rounding off, just take a rest, pull your shoulder blades back and down, take 2 seconds, realign, and then go again. Press 1, 2, and 3. Team, you really can't mess this up too much because the line is set for you through the machine. So that there is how you want to go about doing your seated chest press.